zoning board. Board of Selectmen meeting to order on Thursday, May 2nd, 2024. All three selectmen present, police chief's present.
Yeah.
And Leo is video recording for the public, and we have the town administrator with us tonight. I have old business, which is the meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of April 18th, 2024 as amended.
I'll second that.
Mike seconds it, any discussion?
Well written as always, and the thing is, Jennifer, we just like the way she does her work. Thank you, Lee. Pass it on to her, please.
All in favor?
Aye. I'll make another motion to approve the first non-public meeting minutes of April 18th, 2024.
The 8:42?
I don't have time, but is that the first one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mike, do I have a,
I'll second that.
okay, so I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion?
There was discussion, just not to be sealed, right?
Yeah. Here you go, Mike. Okay, one more.
I'll make another motion to approve the second non-public meeting minutes of April 18th, 2024.
These were 9:06, and I've got a motion,
Yeah, I'll second that.
Mike seconds it. Any discussion on those?
Nope.
Non-sealed, all in favor?
Aye.
Here you go, Mike.
Lean, just, point of order, I made a pending change on the, signature block for the chair on the original minutes.
Oh, I didn't change it?
No, just for the record.
Okay. I'm gonna open up for public comment. Nothing, Leo? Anybody else? Okay. Closing public comment, going back to town business. Is the town clerk ready?
She's just pulling her paperwork together.
Okay, we're gonna have this public meeting, so I'll go over a couple of items on the, mailbox then. Okay. We have a thank you card in the box from, John Wigan for the donation on the town's behalf. And, that's in here, I don't know if anybody's had a chance to see it.
I took a look at it.
I think the last meeting was from the library that the donation
Correct.
went to. Today was
So
from the
you
family.
can look at it. Okay. We've got a letter here from the chief of police in reference to a letter of recognition for Officer Thomas Tompkins, for stopping a gift card fraud, and a letter for Scott, recognition letter for Scott as aphrodisiac.
Adhesion.
Aphrodisiac, is that what he said?
Who aided the individual in imminent risk of committing suicide. And, we have both of those here. We get a chance if we can read those. We also had one on porch fire, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
May I speak to those briefly?
Yeah, that'd be great if you could.
We have a program called Guardian Tracking, so it's kind of like a digital personnel file. And moving forward, we generally post those, like a supervisor recognition, or if a citizen calls in with a compliment, we'll put that in Guardian Tracking, but if the board's okay with it moving forward, I'd like to push some of those to you guys, just because there's a lot of stuff that our officers do that never make the news or never makes Facebook. Those three things in particular
Yeah.
are just examples of that, so just like to keep the board apprised.
You keep personnel files, keep them in personnel files too?
Yes, yep,
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's great that the public can see those things that you do that, go above and beyond to help the public out, especially all town people, so.
Again, you can use your webpage too, but without pushing
Right.
personal information out there.
right, exactly.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you.
I have to say, what's nice about your webpage, what I dislike about webpages are webpages that are never kept up to date.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to admit, Lean does a good job keeping like the current topics, and it's helpful when it's up to date, otherwise no one ever visits it.
Right.
No, But in that one there's like 5 of us that add information, so we really have to watch it and kind of change things as we.
Okay, going back, we have a letter of resignation from Donna White. She's given us a nice long notice so we can plan for her department of April 30th, 2025. She does realize this is a long ways away. We've had some talks with her over the last year and a half about trying to schedule this, and she's been nice enough to give us this time that we can maybe get a successor in place and get some training from her on that person, so. That's, great news, and I'm glad to see she's gonna enjoy her retirement. Sorry to see her go though, in a year from now. Okay, and the last thing we have on here is New Hampshire, Community Profile Census Bureau population for Dunbarton is 3,085 people,
And that's up from how many, Lean?
3,005 based on
so 80 people.
2023's, Central New Hampshire Regional Planning calculation, so we're gonna continue to grow. And that was before the 25 homes we built.
Okay. That's done, coming back to our town clerk, Jennifer, you ready for us?
Yes.
Jennifer has come to us tonight to talk about being the municipal agent for the town of Dunbarton, seeing where she's the town clerk now.
Yes. So, what is a municipal registration agent?
Oh, Lee, can you shut that off for us out here?
That sounds good, because we won't get that soft voice on the recorder either.
And I can speak up too.
Yes, please.
So the municipal registration agent is responsible for acting on behalf of the New Hampshire Department of Motor Vehicles, the DMV, to process vehicle registration and title transactions, including the issuance of license plates and decals. Prior to 1997, Dunbarton did not have a municipal registration agent. At that time, all motor vehicle transactions needed to be started here in the town, but then completed at the state by the registrant themselves going to the state. To better serve our community, Linda decided to become a municipal registration agent, and she took the required training, set up the office for the additional processing, and contracted with the state via appointment at that time by the select board to become our town's municipal registration agent, which was effective April 17th, 1997. So since Linda has retired as town clerk, a new contract needs to be made with the state by the current town clerk. There are a number of requirements for this appointment, including being a municipal official, such as a town clerk, being trained and authorized by motor vehicles, which I was when I started doing motor vehicle transactions, being bonded in this role, which we are through the town's bond, maintaining regular office hours, and having all the needed equipment to perform the work and secure everything. Once appointed by the Board of Selectmen and agreed to by and appointed by the New Hampshire DMV, the contract is established. As part of the contract, the municipal registration agent is responsible for following all procedures, for remitting daily reports to motor vehicles, and making daily deposits of the state's funds unless an alternate schedule is approved. These responsibilities carry to the deputy town clerk and any other town clerk staff authorized by both the town and the DMV. I prepared a letter of appointment that you can sign for this purpose, and I'm happy to answer any questions. And I've also prepared a packet with what is going to motor the contracts and the trucks.
Jennifer, how often do you guys do your deposits now?
Currently, we do them twice a week, and that was approved for Linda back when she started, was originally under the daily requirement requirement, she had to submit a letter, and then that was resubmitted a few years ago. Because it was so
Do we
many
need to
directors
submit anything
passed.
for you on that?
So I am submitting a letter along with this packet to request permission to keep her schedule.
Yeah, perfect.
So yeah, we don't wanna have to
No,
do more
but
hours
yeah.
of, so in your packet, we have registration agent information from the RSA, the two items, the bond and the certificates,
Okay,
and then I made triplicate for the appointment paper, so there'd be a copy for you all, an original, one for me, and one for motor vehicle.
okay, great.
But
You
if
need a
you could-
motion on the table, Dave?
I would say so, I think we'll, let me see what I read this here. Make a motion, to appoint Jennifer Corman as elected town clerk for the town of Dunbarton, as a municipal registration agent. And there's no term on this?
No, there's no set term, it's what,
Okay.
until, I don't, it might be that Linda still technically is, because nobody else has superseded her.
And this will be the second day of March 2024. Do I have a second?
May,
I'll second that.
Oh, I'm sorry, May
I
2024.
assume I wrote May.
So it's motion been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much for coming and explaining that to us.
Yeah, well, thank you for hearing me, figured it's a rare thing if there's little turnover in the town clerk office, so,
Yeah.
because of.
Mike and I have been here quite a while and we haven't seen this yet, so.
That's a new
Yeah,
one.
20 years, never heard it, so.
Yep, yeah, 1997.
Yeah, I signed them all. I'll keep this package with our stuff for Jennifer. Or you, Lean. Not your Jennifer, the one that does our
Yep.
recording.
Does that stuff have to go with the certificate?
No, I'll be sending it in, that's copies for your file,
Okay, for the
because the
file.
town should have a record of.
Yep.
Because this is an official contract.
Yep, yep.
Okay, just
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, so I have a separate originals for the state, and
We're
these
gonna
are
finish up with this at the
photocopies.
public hearing.
We're on time, that's good.
Yeah.
Bill?
So I
Thank you,
can
Jennifer.
leave an original with their packet.
Yep, that's fine, and I'll file it.
Appreciate you coming in.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll put it in your first.
Everything else going good so far, Jennifer? Jennifer, everything else going good so far?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah,
great.
and it's nice to have Linda back, so I'm not all alone.
Yeah.
in the office.
All right, sounds good,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. It's almost 7:15, so I guess we can start our discussions here. I only see two people or three people in our crowd here tonight, so to
I don't
talk about our
count.
public hearing. We're gonna open up a public hearing, to review the current fee schedule for the town, and the proposed fee schedules that we wanna change. There are some that aren't gonna change at all, and there's others that are gonna change slightly. And the first one I'm gonna start off with is the, town of Dunbarton policies. It looks like on this one for letters and all the things within the town houses here, there's gonna be no change proposed from 2022 to 2024.
Is that their copies of records?
Yeah.
Let me open it, okay.
Yeah, so I started with copies of records to start with. That was an easy one. Let's hit the police department, that's the next one I have in my hand. So the last change was in 2022, it looks like, and these are proposed changes for 2024. And these are for the officers' detail hours. 2022, they were 50, it's proposed to go to 60. The vehicle is 20, it's gonna stay at 20. The administration was 15, it's gonna stay at 15. Officer and cruiser was 85, it's gonna be 95. Officer level cruiser was 65, is gonna be 75. These are the new fees that went into it.
I thought, I'd like to make a change that, I can propose a change that, we consider the officer with cruiser from 95 to $100 even, and an extra $5 will be added to the vehicle, capital reserve fund for vehicle replacement.
Okay, cause these aren't the fees that were proposed by Chris.
They're like $3,
I
$2
think it
off.
was discussion in a meeting, which isn't legitimate,
Okay,
and then they got changed in an email.
cause Chris's rate was $98, I think we
thought it was
said.
97.
Yeah, it was like $3
It was
less.
97, we added one more for the vehicle.
$2 for the vehicle?
And then
2 was originally, and I went to 3 to bring it to 98 during the meeting.
And so, but the thing is, we can change it, we can recommend
That's-
changes on the fly here.
That's why we're
Yep.
discussing it now.
So, our proposal was to stay at, to go up to 60. And we were at, was gonna be 23, I think. And then keep
23 on the vehicle?
yeah, and administration at 15. So it was
Total
23,
98.
and that totaled out at 98. Keeping without cruiser the same at 75. And Mike had talked, a little bit about changing it up to a full 100. Chris, you had put some perspective on that. You wanted to stay slightly below 100, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable with 100. Henniker recently went to a flat 100, pretty much
Okay.
the same, more or less the same approximate breakdown that we have. They're pretty close geographically. I think that's kinda.
If you're good with it, I don't have any problem putting more towards the
And
vehicle either.
I don't want it to go to the general fund, I figured, since they're using a cruiser, let's put it towards the cruiser for replacement down the road.
I think 25 is pretty good for the car. That would hopefully replenish that fund a little bit faster.
It's just a little bit, but I'm talking
Yeah.
about even 100, it's
And
maintain
they're,
it.
and they're not gonna get any cheaper either.
No, they're not. No.
So we'll go to 25 on that and make it an even 100, Lean?
Yep.
I'll put this one back in the schedule so you'll have it.
I have a copy of this one.
Are there any other changes that, you thought you made? Okay. I think we'll make one motion on the proposed changes.
Yep.
Afterwards.
Does that include donuts and coffee?
Donuts and coffee, that's extra.
If you show up.
I bring it,
Coffee and donuts with the,
I bring it.
with the officer.
Were we gonna do were we gonna state that it was $10 cheaper for in town, or were we doing that?
We did decide to do that,
That was in our
on a
minutes from last
proposal.
week.
Lean, can you make sure you have that in there as well?
Where do I put that?
Asterisks,
On
asterisks.
what? Which piece?
Well, in the minutes, it says off the town portion, so,
The admin portion?
that or the vehicle, 'cause the vehicle, as a taxpayer, you're paying for the vehicle out of your taxes.
Yeah, so let's do it off the vehicle portion,
Okay, so for resident,
be a $10. For resident or business of Dunbarton? Resident or business of Dunbarton.
asterisk, on vehicle, $50.
Reduce.
You'll still be getting 15 from that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's do that.
That's fine.
That sounds fair.
You don't have to travel as far. And it gives a little something back for our residents.
Yep, I think that's good.
Okay.
I appreciate the board's support on this, and with this rate, I think it'll be very incentivizing for our people. We have the time and a half after 8 that was implemented in 22. A lot of towns are moving to that as well, so I think from a retention standpoint, first and foremost, this is gonna be huge, but also down the road with recruitment, I think it'll be a big draw as
Yeah.
well, so thank you.
You're welcome, as long as we get this guy for the voting. If he starts missing it for voting, we're gonna cut him back. Thank you guys, thanks for showing up.
Thank you.
Building department. Doesn't look like there are any proposed changes in 2024 on the building department.
No,
I thought she was
She
changing.
was changing one item, yeah.
it's planning and zoning and
Oh, it's not
Yeah,
that.
so the building, I'm okay.
building is good. She said that
Okay.
she is collecting for every single,
Yep,
um,
she kind of updated some of those over the last couple of years, so.
yep, yep.
Okay, town clerk. It looks like there are no proposed 2024 changes for town clerk.
Nope.
Transfer station,
No
We gave a couple of reminders, I know that we've had some personnel issues there, but there is no changes that were proposed. Ambulance, we do have a couple of minor changes there for ambulance fees.
Attached to your fee schedule is the, Merrimack County comparison report from the ambulance company that collects our fees.
Yeah.
And we were really well below the majority of the other, towns in the area and John proposed an increase for mileage, for $18 on either, from 15 up to 18 on both. So there's a correction on one.
So
It says 28.
2022
Should
and
be 18.
2023 was 15.
Yeah,
We're going on 2024 proposed mileage and non-covered mileage to 18 on both.
correct.
And there's one going from 600 to 800 for an emergency call.
Yep. Again, if you look at the highlighted green, the
Yeah.
fees in the other communities are a lot higher than Dunbarton. We haven't raised our fees in several years.
I
All
think-
other items have no changes.
I think it's very reasonable, John kept the increase minimal.
Yeah. Any comment, Justin?
Well, it seems like they're still pretty low, but
Yeah.
As long as John's happy with it, I think I'm good with it. Okay, zoning board fee schedule, next one we're going on to.
Yeah.
The proposed changes are down on the bottom, where legal notice in the newspaper will be $125 flat fee, and certified notice to abutters will be $10 instead of $6. And, recording fees are gonna be no charge, it looks like.
No change,
No
yeah,
change.
no change.
Okay.
Those are actual costs at the, Merrimack County, they bill us, so we don't
Yeah.
set those rates.
Okay.
And the legal notice in the newspaper, I talked to Don a little bit about that, it's just, sometimes it comes out to like $89, I mean, it's a flat rate rather than nickel and dime and try to figure it out, and then they have to wait till they get the invoice for it.
And then charge the people the invoice instead of charging them up front.
And trying to collect, it's a lot of, after
Admin.
the fact is difficult,
So I think it's a reasonable, she took it like an average number, and I think it's very reasonable.
Okay. Okay, planning board, looks like again, there's a couple of small changes there. Legal notice again is $125 for the newspaper. Certified notifications to butters is $10. No change on anything else. So I think that's it. Anybody have any comment on any of the department changes? Anything from the public? The town administrator? Either selectman?
no,
I'll make a motion to accept the changes on all of the town departments, the proposed 2024s as discussed tonight.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There we go. It should be on the flip of this right here. I'll steal this one. Okay, Lean, so these will be in there for Jennifer, so you'll have to highlight them to make sure she has the correct ones.
Yep, I will.
Okay, that'll be the end of that public hearing for those fee schedules and proposed changes for 2024. We've already done mailbox items. I'm gonna go back to public comment.
The only thing I wanted to say, we have a lot of community events coming up, so in our monthly report that I sent out today, I highlighted, the pages where all of that stuff is,
Yeah,
in our
and
monthly
as you get
report.
closer, I really appreciate the updates on them.
Yep,
Try and stuff them in my calendar as I see
Sure.
them, and
no, we appreciate that.
try and make it to as many as we can.
Yep, I appreciate that.
And we post them on our news, on
Yeah.
the hot topics.
But, you know, it's funny though, it's, although you post them, some people were complaining that they didn't even know we had a website.
We do get that even when people are looking for their tax card, so.
And these are educated people come in looking for, they were complaining about the tax, the training, mandatory training for the new town clerk, and she was advertised, it was closed on the website, it was everywhere advertised, and all of a sudden, like, I took a day off from work, and everything is now, what is this, no service? You know, for the town listening, we do have a website, it's very informative, it's kept up to date, we have a police website, it's kept up to date, and it's a lot of good stuff there, so please take advantage of the website, I say to the public.
And Chris, I do like your emails and monthly reports, I mean, there's a lot of information in there, if you read through it, decipher it, you can kind of follow different trends, and I think that for us to be able to read that at our own leisure at home is real helpful, and keeps us up to date with the department and what's going on in there, and,
It's great feedback, thank you.
yeah, I think.
April was busy.
You'll
very
see,
busy.
I thank you a lot of times, because, you know, for us being able to read it at home and not bother you guys is kind of a great thing for us to stay abreast of what's going
Oh,
on.
I appreciate that, thank you.
I haven't seen any tents on the common yet, have you, Dave?
Not that we haven't thrown out.
Okay.
All right, bring it back to the board.
I have nothing.
I'm good, Dave.
The only update I have is I think the hardware, should have been received in, and they're gonna schedule with Mary and yourself to hopefully get those locks squared away.
Mhm.
I know we were at our ship date there, so I look forward to get those locks functioning the way they're supposed to from Yale. I think that's it. Town common looks good.
But yeah, they did a clean.
I went by you already.
No, you didn't.
I asked town administrator, you said you had nothing.
Hey, Dave,
Next week. No, just kidding.
Next week we won't be
I
here.
won't be here.
she mentioned something there. I was thinking, can't somebody talk to the, you know, just approach the garden club and see if they can do a little bit right front here, especially that lilac bush,
You
you know?
sound like a great spokesperson for that.
Nobody wants to listen to me.
Don't you have a member in
They-
your
they-
household?
Nope, she resigned, and even when,
You let her resign.
yeah,
In Dunbarton, we don't get to resign from anything.
well, she's my wife, I let her do whatever she wants.
It's on tape now.
Yeah, I know, she knows. But, you know, cause that lilac bush could use some real thinning out really bad.
This one right here you're talking about?
Yeah, they did take the tree out of there, I guess, right? Gail was a member in the past, and they were after me all the time to join, and I said, look, I help all the time, so now you want me to pay $10 to help? And they said, well, no, I said, then leave me alone.
We will let you trim this bush for free if you want.
Yeah, okay, brush cutter,
But that works, a brush cutter will work.
it would.
Is that lilac out there?
Yeah, lilac tree.
After they flower, it's the best time to trim them, so we'll wait till she
Oh, is that
flowers,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you can get in there and there's a lot of stuff inside that you could clean up and,
John cleaned it a little bit when he was shoveling. He
Yeah.
just went,
yeah, well, you have to, it's good
cause
for
they
the,
were the branches were coming into the walkway, and it was just like getting in.
but it's good for the plant to, you know,
Yeah, they're
take
very
care of it.
hardy.
And then the other thing is it's a big collector of leaves, and it always looks like crap, really, you know, so.
Yeah, we'll make a note of it. Try
Just, you know, if somebody wants to, once in a while, say, hey, how about doing a little bit here?
I will
'Cause it's
say
a
that,
new-
I will say that triangle looks a lot better.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, but they're all new officers in there too, so, you know, they're new people, they wanna make things look good, so.
We
you know,
can send, just ask town administrator, send them just a quick email if they wanna
I'm
tackle
in
the plan.
contact with the chair.
Well, first, let's send them an email saying.
Thanking them.
Bark mulch looks great,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does look good.
and then in another week, we'll do the other one.
It looks, but I mean, it would, they're here
But
anyways,
put a little
it's just a
sugar in
little
it
extra
first,
is
eh?
what it is.
And then you gotta
know?
follow up with sugar too.
All right, thank you. Lean, what did you have for us?
I just had something real quick. All the annual pickups for the new values have been completed as of April 1st. They've been busy and working a lot of hours in the town. The MS1s have been completed, and that is the, form that we use to set the values of the town of both our software programs, our match. So going forward, we have the numbers we need to set the tax rate. It's one more document that's ready for that. We've had a really good year. It's more than doubled our average year for new property values, and ultimately that brings in additional tax revenue, and the DRA uses the MS1 values to set the tax rate, so you will see a decrease in that projected increase. It will not be as high as we were anticipated, which is gonna be, I'm sure, well received with all the taxpayers.
Can you
But
send
we might-
Ron Slocum an email?
And remind for the public, the tax rate is not set until late September or October, when the revenues come in for the state.
That's it. Revenues and MS1s, but they finished the year at April 1st.
Right. For adding new properties for
New
such.
values, yep.
Okay, motion to adjourn, 7:29.
I'll second.
Here we go, we made a new record.
I was gonna say, is that a record?
That's why I said it real quick.
So I'm like, come on.
Thank you,
You
everyone.
almost caught me, Leo.